Hey everybody, Kim from Dreammakers Farms. Today we're going to be making a fall favorite, apple fritters. They are really easy to make. It's a pretty quick process and they are a family favorite of ours. I don't have a deep fryer, so I just use a pan on the stove. It's not a full stock pot, but it's a cooking pot. And I put about 2.5, 3 inches of just plain vegetable oil in there. And you want it on about medium heat. And it's, like I said, it's just plain vegetable oil for frying, Crisco vegetable oil, whatever. Not Crisco shortening, but Crisco vegetable oil. And you just want to put that on about medium heat. We're going to want to get that up to about 350 degrees or so. So you want to turn that on before you start putting all your ingredients together. You also need 3 cups of cut apple. You want to cut your apple pieces small because you don't want huge chunks of apple in your fritter because they won't hold together really well. So you want to do little pieces like this. I use my apple peeler core slicer to get the job done. It's this, and it works out really well. If you do a lot of things with apples, you really want to have one of those because they're handy. So mine just spiralized cuts the apples, and then I just cut my apples down into little small pieces like this. So you want 3 cups of apples. So I'm going to tilt you down, and we are going to get mixing. Okay, so we are going to start with 1.5 cups of flour, and this is just all-purpose flour. Remember, we keep it real around here, so we make messes and we just keep it real. So we want 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And then we want 1 tablespoon of sugar, and this is just regular granulated sugar. And this is all the sugar that's going to go in this recipe, so it's really not that unhealthy for you. We are going to toss them in a cinnamon sugar mix, but you know, if you could leave that out if you wanted to. So you just have the 1 tablespoon of sugar. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Powder, not soda. Baking powder, 2 teaspoons. We're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon. Let me find my 1/2 teaspoon here. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we are going to beat 2 eggs into 2/3 cup of milk. And this just helps everything blend a little bit better. So I have 2/3 cup of milk in here. This is a Pampered Chef measure-all, and I love these because you can do liquid or dry in these. So I have 2 eggs and 2/3 cup of milk. I'm just going to drop my eggs right into my milk. And then I'm going to beat the eggs right into the milk. And then pour that in. So this is neat because it has a side for liquid measurements, so you can see. And then this actually slides, and you can measure dry on the other end if you flip it over. So we're gonna mix all this together. So far we've got 1.5 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup of milk, and 2 eggs in our bowl. And we're just going to combine all of this together in a bowl. And we're going to get our dough. Like I said, this is really quick and easy to whip up. And I just like to use a rubber scraper, rubber spatula. This also happens to be from Pampered Chef. I am not a distributor for Pampered Chef. Many moons ago, when Jamie and I got married, my sister threw me a Pampered Chef bridal shower, and I got a ton of Pampered Chef product. And I just swear by their products because I think they're so wonderful. So that looks good. Everything's just all mixed together well. Now we're gonna throw in our 3 cups of apple. And blend that all in together. And you just want all your apples coated with your dough. That looks good. Everything is coated. Now we're going to put that over by the stove. You're going to come over to the stove with me now. All right, so we have our oil here. And this is pretty warm. Now, I used this oil last night when I made fritters, and I don't mind using my oil for 2 days in a row. I wouldn't use it more than 2 days in a row because it can get nasty really fast. But for 2 days in a row, it's fine. So today is my daughter's birthday, and she is getting fritters for her birthday. Don't tell her, though, because she doesn't know it yet. So you're just going to take a scoop of your fritters and put them into your oil. And that's it, just a scoop. And you can put a couple scoops in there. You just kind of want to scoop them right in. Like I said, this is nice and easy. And just drop them right in there. Oops. So we're going to let those cook for a couple minutes. And while those are cooking, I am going to get our stuff ready for when they are done. So I'm going to take a plate and just put a couple paper towels on it so that they can drain when they come out of the oil. And then I'm also going to get our cinnamon sugar ready for when they come out. So we're going to drain them and then we're going to coat them with a cinnamon sugar mix. So I just use an old ice cream tub container, and then I'm going to put 1 cup of sugar in here and just cinnamon to taste. Sorry. If I'd known I was going to film on YouTube, I would have designed my kitchen differently. So I'm just putting 1 cup of sugar in here in this tub. And then I'm just going to put cinnamon. This is probably 1.5 tablespoons or so. And then just swirl it around to make cinnamon sugar. So I've just got a nice cinnamon sugar mix. I'm going to set that aside for a few minutes. Now you will need a container with a lid because you're going to toss your fritters into that mix. Okay, so I'm going to check our fritters here. So you can see they're starting to brown up on the edges a little bit. So when you start to see them brown up, we just want to flip them over. And it only takes a couple minutes. This is the time that it took me to make that cinnamon sugar. They were ready to be flipped over. I'm going to move them around a little bit. They will float on their own. So you just want to give the other side a couple more minutes too. Like I always do, I did a test run of these last night for Jamie, and there are maybe 3 or 4 left because we just sat down and we ate the whole batch because they are that good. We just love these so much, and they are so quick and easy to make. I will be honest and tell you these are not the best warmed up. You really want to eat these when they're warm. Microwaving them to reheat them makes them soggy. You can pop them in the oven for a few minutes to warm them up. I would do like a 350 oven for 5 or 6 minutes just to warm them through. But honestly, same day is the very best time to eat them because they're not one of those reheatable snacks or treats. So just flip these over and make sure they're done on both sides. You just want to pop them out and shake any oil off. I'm going to transfer them right over here onto my paper towel. And that'll just drain any grease off them. You don't want a lot of grease on them, obviously. So I'm going to pop my next batch in. And this probably makes about 12, well, no, probably 15 or so, depending on how big you drop them in. They are oh so yummy. So we're just going to let those cool just for a second so that they're touchable while we drop this next batch in. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with these other ones here. We're going to take our cinnamon sugar mixture. We're going to pop these right in. And what did I do with my lid? I've got it here. I'm just going to pop the lid right on, and we're just going to shake them around. Just give them a quick toss. And we can take them out and put them on your plate and take off any excess. And look at how delicious these look. They are absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to finish off this next batch. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make my apple fritters. Be sure to hit subscribe and like below, and let me know if you have any questions. And enjoy your apple fritters. Have a great day.